Hi, Martha. At the time, Nikki Uvino was attending Sacred Heart University in Fairfield, Connecticut. She claimed the incident happened at an off-campus party, that two Sacred Heart football players pulled her into a bathroom, took turns holding her down, and sexually assaulted her. Uvino claims she repeatedly told the men she didn't want to be there, that she had friends waiting for her outside, and to please let her go. Both men admitted having sex with her, but said it was consensual.
A few moments later.
And some new information on the former Sacred Heart University student who said that she was raped, then later admitted it was all a lie.
A few moments later.
Uvino says she never told police she was raped, just that sex happened in a bathroom and she asked to leave.
So this woman goes to a party, has sex with some football players, doesn't want the boy that she's interested in to find out, so she says they blanked her, and now she's going to jail. This is Nikki Uvino. She's a 19-year-old student at Sacred Heart University. Now, on October 15th, police were dispatched to St. Vincent's Medical Center for a claim of sexual assault. Now, Uvino told police that she attended a Sacred Heart Football Club party that night. She told police that she was pulled into a room, and she told the men that pulled her into the room that she didn't want to be there and she didn't want anything to do with them. She even pleaded that her friends were waiting outside, that she needed to go. But she said the men continued to assault her.
Nikki Uvino had originally claimed that two Sacred Heart football players had pulled her into a bathroom at a party in 2016 and then took turns raping her. And as recently as January, her lawyer had said Uvino wanted the case tried.
Now, initially, detectives believed her account and witness statements appeared to corroborate her allegations, but police looked further. Now, since we live in the Me Too era, accusations are just as good as convictions, and these men were treated as if they were convicted based on evidence. The school suspended them, they lost their scholarships, and they were considered to be blankets just based off the word of this woman.
So you're a football player, you're at Sacred Heart. In high school, you were a wide receiver, most valuable player, team captain, right? Serious about what you were doing. So you go to college, you go to this off-campus party, and like that, your life has changed. What did her claim do to your life?
Really, it really did a lot. At that moment, I had to leave school. We were suspended from school, weren't allowed to attend classes. And then when trying to get back into school, it was very difficult because we no longer had the aid that we had, scholarships that we had.
Did you lose a scholarship?
I wasn't on football scholarship at the time because that year I decided, that semester actually, I was trying to transition into communications, but I was on scholarship. I had received scholarships from Harlem Week and from things that I did within the community of New York City. So from that, it was just crazy because I didn't even have opportunity to gain those things and to transition my life into what I wanted to transition it to.
Now, obviously, this is from the bane of believe all women. Now, police continued to investigate this crime and found some evidence that seemed to suggest this didn't happen the way the victim was portraying it. First, police found explicit text messages between Uvino and the two male students she was accusing. The text messages were so damning because it showed Uvino actually planned this event, and it was 100% consensual. Then police were able to recover video of the incident. The video directly contradicted Uvino's testimony, showing that she was not only a willing participant, but seemed to be enjoying the interaction. Police also interviewed other people at the party who also contradicted Uvino's story. So police, armed with this contradictory information, brought Uvino in for a second interview, where she admitted she lied. Matter of fact, here's what happened.
But in a second interview on tape, Uvino said, "I was scared. It didn't happen." Uvino says she never told police she was raped, just that sex happened in a bathroom and she asked to leave. But Bridgeport police say there is video of the incident that questions her story. This case is being watched nationally because it's happening in the shadow of the Me Too movement, where people are beginning to question exactly what it means to be sexually assaulted.
So here's the thing. At this point, we have to, it's like, okay, in an ideal world, of course, women wouldn't do this. This wouldn't be a thing. They would feel bad about the people, the men they're accusing, and because they would feel bad if something bad were to happen to these men because of a lie, then they wouldn't do it, right? In an ideal world, that would be the case. But unfortunately, That isn't the world we live in. It's never been that way, and it never will be. So men need to start looking out for themselves. So, for young men out there who are in college and, they're drinking, they're going out and partying, and they're hooking up with women, you really need to start second guessing that type of lifestyle, because really nothing good can come from it. And the problem is, it doesn't really seem to be the case that when these women make these accusations, that they care about the men they're accusing. And so again, perhaps we need to start informing young men. It's funny, there's always this talk about trying to teach young men not to grape and do all this stuff. But actually, of course, that's true. But there needs to be a counter message, or not a counter message, but a similar message geared and aimed towards the men, where it's, hey, young men, you need to be careful out there because women will falsely accuse you. And so maybe you want to go out and you want to drink and you want to party and you want to have a good time and you want to hook up. But but think about this. Hey, but this could happen. You could sleep with the girl who might falsely accuse you. Oh, and by the way, there's some dramatic repercussions that follow. Oh, and by the way, it doesn't matter if you get proven innocent. You're going to lose scholarships. You're going to lose opportunities. These colleges that kick you out, they won't take you back, even though it's been proved you're innocent for some reason. Can we talk about that? These colleges, these universities that don't take the men back after proven to be innocent, what's up with that? So there needs to be more of a messaging towards young men about this. Hey, these chicks will lie. They will falsely accuse you. It happens. It's happened. It's still happening. And it very well could happen to you. So maybe you want to go out, you want to drink, you want to have fun, you want to party, and you want to get loose. You want to make bad decisions. You probably shouldn't. You probably should focus on your sports. Focus on your studies. Be careful about who you trust. And if you want to pursue sexual relations with a woman, make sure it's your girlfriend. You've been together for a while. Nobody ever told me this when I was younger. I'd never heard about that. I was never told that from that angle. Like, hey, be careful with who you sleep with because she might falsely accuse you. I was never told that. So maybe there should be more of that being preached to young men.
So you heard that right. She said she never told police that she was assaulted. They made that up. So now the police had investigated this crime, and on top of that, she filed a police report under penalty of perjury. So the DA charged her.
Student from Long Island now facing charges of falsely accusing two men of rape, and at least one of them is a college football player from Connecticut.
So real quick, here's the thing. This is where she messed up because she actually filed a police report. And so a lot of times what happens is these women will accuse men, but they won't actually take it to law. They won't actually file a police report. And so when it comes out that she lied, she isn't really going to face any time because, well, the law wasn't involved in the first place. So even though there was an accusation made, she didn't take it to the police so that she didn't involve the law. So she can't then be prosecuted for anything when it comes out that she lied because she didn't make a false police report. And that's really all they have on these women. And that, I think, needs to change. It no longer should be that the only punishment for a woman like this is, oh, you lied, you filed a false police report. There should be an opposite law. There should be a law out there that says, oh, what you did here, this specific thing you just did, there's actually a law applied to it. And it's not just that you filed a false police report, it's that you made a false SA claim. And that in and of itself has a punishment. But unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be a thing. And the only thing these women can be charged with is filing a false police report. And in this instance, that's what happened.
Good evening to you at 6 o'clock. I'm Liz Chow.
And I'm Bill Ritter, the 20-year-old student claiming she had been raped after a party involving the Sacred Heart University football team.
But tonight, Nikki Uvino is charged with making it all up and then fabricating the evidence.
But as that investigation stretched on for months, another student came forward and provided new information that punched holes in her story, specifically sexually explicit messages on social media between the alleged victim and her supposed attackers. Part of the incident was also recorded on one of the men's cell phones. Detectives traveled to Long Island to re-interview Uvino, who had moved back home, and police say she admitted making the story up. Police say given the resources used in this investigation, they had no choice but to charge her.
Certainly, if you're a victim of sexual assault, we want to hear from you. We will do a thorough investigation, but please just tell us the truth. And, you know, had she done that early on, then I don't think she would have been charged.
Uvino is charged with falsely reporting an incident and tampering with evidence.
With the evidence stacking up against her, the text messages, videos, witnesses, it did not look good. But Uvino's lawyer was confident and said they were going to trial to prove not only was she not lying, but that she was assaulted.
We're ready to get this story in front of a jury. We think that there is more to this story than has been portrayed in the media.
Uvino's lawyer says detectives scared her into confessing by seizing on minor inconsistencies in her story.
Things like, did they grab your arm, or did they pull you, or did they just grab your arm? Did they grab your hand?
Uvino's lawyer says the case is already having a...
Hey, man, I get it. You're doing your job. I get it, but... You know, stop. He's doing his best, isn't he? He's doing his best.
Chilling effect.
Now, it's not a question of just not being believed. It's an issue of potentially facing incarceration and criminal penalty.
So they were scheduled to go to trial, but the DA's office gave Uvino one last chance to accept the plea bargain,
make a deal,
or accept her fate with the jury.
Former Sacred Heart University student who lied about being raped by two members of the football team is being offered a plea deal. 19-year-old Nikki Uvino has until January the 10th to accept or reject the confidential offer. In 2016, Uvino claimed she was sexually assaulted at a party, but then confessed she made it up.
Now, looking at maybe 5 years in prison, Uvino decided to take the offer. She accepted the plea deal and pleaded guilty to lying. And listen to her excuse on why she...
Pathetic human.
...claimed she was assaulted by these two young men.
But this week, Uvino accepted a plea deal admitting she had made up the assault allegation because, as her arrest warrant affidavit stated, quote, it was the first thing that came to mind, and she didn't want to lose another male student as a friend and potential boyfriend. And the affidavit also said Uvino believed when the other student, quote, heard the allegation, it would make him angry and sympathetic to her. Investigators said the football players admitted having sex with Uvino, but said it was consensual. Their attorney said the plea deal cannot make up for what Uvino has put the young men through, but that, quote, it does send a powerful message that lying about a serious incident carries serious consequences. Uvino's lawyer said, quote, this was a very difficult decision for Nikki and a sad day for her and her family. She will now begin the process of healing and rehabilitation as she awaits her final sentence. Under the plea bargain, Uvino will be formally sentenced August 23rd and will spend 1 year in prison.
Now, there's a Netflix documentary called Victim to Suspects, where they're trying to actually defend Uvino, claiming that she's actually innocent and was the police that tricked her into confessing to her crimes. In this documentary, you're going to hear from Uvino herself, and she's going to change her story for a fourth time.
I'm just like, okay, why? Yeah, no shit. She's a liar. I'm not interested in trying to like figure out if she pled guilty. She pled guilty because the evidence was stacked against her, and the attorney said, hey, take this deal, because if you don't, you know, you might lose because there's some damning evidence that proves you lied. And now what we're going to listen to a liar again? Like, it's like I'm kind of burnt out on listening to a woman and say, is she lying or not? Is she telling the truth? I'm over it. Oh, so now we're gonna like listen to her again and like, oh, she's not lying. You pled guilty. No, you lied. It's like enough. No, we've done this already. We already did this. Have we not already done this?
Going back to the original version, where she is a victim of assault and that the police tricked her into saying she wasn't.
When I spoke to them, they both maintained that the assaults did
Blah,
happen.
blah, 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 blah.
Lie to the police about
Who is this biatch here trying to give Nikki Yavino the benefit of the doubt? On the surface, this chick looks like a raging feminist. What are the chances I'm right? Probably high.
anything. I didn't lie to the detective about anything. I didn't lie.
What happened during those police interrogations?
She's like, hey, this chick here that's incarcerated, turns out the police manipulated her, and I believe her. Oh, shocker. A woman believes the other woman.
Now really think about what Netflix is trying to do. They're trying to gaslight everyone to the nth degree.
I don't believe
Think about
you.
it.
Hey, how about this? I don't believe you.
The
don't.
evidence shows this young lady wasn't raped. All the witnesses say she wasn't raped. Then there's video of the incident that shows that she wasn't raped. But yet Netflix still is trying to put forward the narrative that not only was she raped, but that police had a hand in helping these rapists get off. So Yavino served her 1 year in jail. She was sued by the two young men, and she now is claiming that they still assaulted her. Let me know what you think in the comment section.
Oh, so they did sue her. I was under the impression they didn't.
Would you sue this woman? If you were those two men, would you sue this young woman for defamation? Because she pleaded guilty and said that she obviously lied, but now she's saying she did, and everything she said was truthful, which seems to me to be defamation. And that's because it is defamation. The two men that she accused of assault sued her for intentional infliction of emotional distress, slander, and libel. Essentially, defamation. Let me know in the comment section how you feel about this story. Now, this is one of the worst examples of what I like to call regret rape. When a woman regrets having sex with men and then says that she was raped as a response. And that's what essentially happened here. There was one boy that she wanted to be her boyfriend, but she still wanted to get a freak on with the football players. She got a freak on, but couldn't handle the consequences of the boy that she wanted to date, saying, hey, if you're banging football players in a bathroom at parties, you're not the girl for me. Now,
Sounds like a modern woman, doesn't it? Just a second. Let me see. So it says here about the guys, Bradley and Saint Hilaire. So they filed a lawsuit alleging defamation, slander, libel, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. And it looks like specific details about the resolution of this lawsuit are not publicly available. So that is why I did not. I just thought they didn't even sue her. It's possible the case was settled privately or is still pending, but no definitive information is accessible. So the dudes also sued Sacred Heart University for breach of contract, asserting that the university violated its own policies by suspending them without a proper investigation, leading to significant personal financial damages. The outcome was the court ruled in favor of Sacred Heart University, granting their motion for summary judgment. The judgment was based on the university student handbook, which authorized immediate suspension of students facing allegations of serious criminal activity to protect the community's welfare. The court found that the university acted within its contractual rights, leading to the dismissal of the case against it. And that's ridiculous. And I hope that more universities are second-guessing their policies or having another look at them, because you really can't just kick these men out when an accusation is made. Like, you need to make sure that they were found guilty. And this is the problem. Like I was saying, a lot of times these women won't even take it to the police. And so they won't really have an opportunity to be proven innocent unless, they sue the girl or the woman for defamation. And then that's when the law gets involved and discovery and whatnot. But just the accusation alone seems to be enough to get men kicked out of their college. So like I said earlier, if you're a young man in college and you want to go out and drink and party and hook up, it might be worth second guessing that and maybe just try to get a girlfriend instead. But the problem is with that, try to make one of these girls a girlfriend. Good luck with that. It's probably not going to work out well. Probably not. It's just definitely avoid. Look, if you're not going to be going out and drinking and partying, definitely avoid a girl that does exactly that. Avoid her for sure. And definitely avoid her if she dresses skimpy and is very active on social media and is a sorority girl. Yeah, avoid those chicks. But the bookworms who refuse to go out, if you insist on, if you really need to hook up with a chick and sleep with her, which as a young man, that urge and drive is definitely there, then that would be the type. But definitely avoid these chicks that are out here partying and social and super extroverted and active on social media and post pictures and dress scandalously and maybe even look into their degree, what they're there for. Perhaps if it ain't STEM, I don't know, avoid it. Anyways, I'm going to end the video there. If you enjoyed that, leave a like and a subscription, and I'll see you later.